so on today, continuing with one-step inequalities, we're going to be doing 1 through 4, so go ahead and pause this video, check 1 through 4. If you are completely stuck, then you are behind, but you can watch the first 4 if you just need to have someone help you get started. Okay, you can pause the video to check your answers. I do want to point out, because a lot of you are asking me yesterday about the arrows. Remember, the way that you determine if you color the dot in or not is based on the sign in the problem. So if it's a greater than or equal to, or a less than or equal to, you color it in. If it's just a regular greater than sign or a regular less than sign, remember you leave it open. And the reason is because if you think about the numbers that x could be, in this problem x could be 10 because 10 is greater than or equal to 10. But in this problem x cannot be 7 because 7 is not greater than 7. So if it's included, you color it in. If it's not included, you leave it open. Also, some of you are asking about the arrows. So remember, you plug in the numbers next to it and see which one makes sense. So 9 is not greater than or equal to 10. But 11 is greater than or equal to 10, so we point it toward the 11. Over here, 6 is not greater than 7, but 8 is greater than 7, so that's why it goes towards the 8. Okay, on the next part, go ahead and try number 5 through 8. Pause and come back to check when you're done. Okay, go ahead and pause and check numbers 5 through 8. Raise your hand if you have questions. When you're done, go ahead and try number 9 through number 12. Come back to check your answers. Okay, again, you can pause to check number 9 through 12. Raise your hand if you have questions. Moving on, go ahead and try number 13 through 16. Come back to check your answers when you're done. Okay, you can pause to check 13 through 16, but I do want to talk about number 13 real quick because that was kind of tricky. So obviously the step was to add 16. That part shouldn't be tricky at this point. But the tricky part was that the variable is on the right-hand side, not the left-hand side. So when you write these, you should be switching where the variable goes. Your answer should look exactly like this. The v should not be over here. Okay, because there is a difference between negative 12 is less than v, and v is less than negative 12. These would mean the same thing. If you plugged in a number for v, they would not mean the same thing. So for example, up here, negative 13 is less than negative 12. But if I put negative 13 here, it would make sense. Negative 12 is not less than negative 13. So these two are not the same. Make sure that you put the variable on the right side. If it began on the right-hand side of the less than symbol, then it should stay on the right-hand side. Over here, if it starts on the left-hand side, then it should end up on the left-hand side. Now this is different from when we were doing equations, because when we were doing equations, I said you could say v equals 12 or 12 equals v, because those mean the same thing. But remember that if I switch these around, they do not mean the same thing. So that's super important. And then also remember that the other day we said that most of the time, if you take your symbol in your problem and you create an arrow out of it, it tells you which way the arrow points in your number line, which I just realized on number 14 I didn't graph, so real quick. Oh, and this is negative, so you got that part wrong. So open dot, and the numbers that greater than, or this way. Sorry about that. So, over here though, notice that the arrow trick didn't work with the less than symbol, because negative 12 is less than negative 11. Negative 12 is not less than negative 13, so just careful on that one. Go ahead and try number 17 through 20. Let's see, 17 through, number 20. Okay, so I didn't show all the work on 17 through 20, and hopefully you know the steps. So add 10, add 12, add 2, subtract 9. But this these are the answers that you should have gotten as well as the number lines. So pause and check, and then go ahead and try number 21 through number 24. Okay, so on 21 through 24, again, you should have the steps down. So minus 16, minus 8, plus 11, plus 6. These are your answers. I want you to pay special attention to 21 and 23 because notice the number is on the left-hand side, the variable is on the right-hand side. As a reminder, your answers should look exactly like this. Sorry, same thing for 22. So make sure that if the variable started on the right-hand side, that it ended up on the right-hand side, and also check your graphs. Lastly, go ahead and try 25 through 26. Come back to check. Okay, on number 25, you should have added 83 to both sides, but remember, if the signs are different, which in this case they would be, a negative plus a positive, it still ends up being subtraction. So I did that there just to show you because a lot of you are still missing that. If you have questions, make sure that you ask. On number 26, notice that the number is on the left-hand side, so make sure that you did that correctly. Again, raise your hand if you have any questions, and when you're done, go ahead and look at the board to figure out what to do next.